Module 13, Segment 3, Work Order Functions. In this segment, you will learn the following work order functions. 1. Adding tasks. 2. Adding the work scope. And 3. Adding parts, labor, and miscellaneous charges. Please note that this training segment assumes you already have basic working knowledge of the core quantum control modules, and you've completed shop control training segments 1 and 2. To begin, we need to open the work order we added in segment 2. Select the shop control drop-down menu, and then select Search WO headers. Type the work order number in the work order number field. If you do not know the work order number, you can search using any of the other criteria. Select OK. The Browsing Work Orders window opens. Focus on the line of your work order and double-click with your mouse or press Enter on the keyboard to open the record. Continuing from the previous segment, let's assume the inspection is complete and the work scope has been defined by the inspector. We will use the corrective action table to record the work, and then we will close the inspection task. First, we will add the work scope. Select Global, Symptoms, Corrective Action, Add. We will use a generic table value entitled Work Scope and add specific notes for this work order. Select the table value Work Scope. If Work Scope is not in your table, select Add and enter Work Scope as the code and description. The Editing WO Action window opens. Here we will add specific notes for this work order. In our example, the inspector noticed that in addition to the standard overhaul work, the stator disc needs to be sent out for external repair, and 3 pistons need to be replaced. We will enter all of this information in the Notes area. When finished, select OK. Now we will add a task entitled Outside Servicing. This will be used to manage the repair of a part outside the normal process. Select Task, Add. Open the task table and select Outside Servicing. Next, enter the sequence of the task. We will enter 2, so it will appear below the inspection task, which is also sequence 2. If desired, you can also record the typical completion time in the standard days field. If using Quantum's optional barcode module to record labor, select the Start Radio button in the barcode label section. You may also enter additional notes in the 2 fields labeled Work Required and Action Taken. Both are visible on the work order. Select OK to return to the work order. Once back to the work order, we see the additional task directly below inspection. Adding tasks to a work order does not affect the original template that was applied. Any notes recorded in the Work Required and Action Taken fields will be visible on the right side of the work order next to the tasks. Instructions can be added to the tasks. These instructions can then be printed on the traveler that goes out to the shop floor. We will look at the instructions on the inspection task. Focus on the task, then on the Instructions tab on the lower part of the work order window. We see that 3 instructions have been added. If you wish to enter an instruction at this point, select Add. In our example, we will edit an existing instruction to add notes. Focus on the second instruction and select Edit. Since the inspector found during this process that the part needs repair, we will enter those findings in the Notes area. With Quantum's optional document imaging module, you can also attach an image to the instruction. Select OK. Now we will add the part needing repair to the bill of materials. However, we will add the part to the Outside Servicing task. Focus on Outside Servicing. Then, focus on the Bill of Materials tab on the lower part of the work order. Select Add at the bottom of the work order window. The Adding Bill of Materials window opens. Enter the part number 5002515. The description defaults from the master part record. Select the Repair disposition from the drop-down menu. Later we will add a repair order for this part. Enter a quantity of 1 and the condition as removed. Select OK to save the addition to the bill of materials. Then close the window to return to the work order. Now that we have completed the data entry involved around the inspection task, we are ready to close it. Focus on the inspection task. Select Task, Status. Select a status with the type Closed, such as Completed. Look at the work order now and notice that the inspection task is closed. The actual days and variance days calculations are recorded for the inspection task. Next, we will enter the labor hours spent by the inspector to complete the task. Focus on the inspection task. At the bottom of the work order window, focus on the Labor tab. Select Add. The Adding Labor window opens. Using the drop-down menus, record the worker and then the skill. The billing and burden rate fields will be populated by the skill selected. Record the number of hours actually worked in the Hours field. In the Billable Hours field, record the number of hours to be billed to the customer. This field will default to reflect the same quantity recorded in the Hours field. However, you may change this number if the hours to be billed vary from the hours actually worked. Select OK to return to the work order. Notice the number of labor hours is displayed on the Task tab. The Labor Variance column displays the difference between the standard number of labor hours identified on the Skills tab and the actual labor hours entered in the work order after the task is completed. Miscellaneous charges can be recorded and then quoted and billed to the customer. In doing this, we will make use of the same charge table used in the core modules. We will add a charge to the Outside Servicing task. Focus on the task Outside Servicing, and then focus on the Miscellaneous Charges tab at the bottom of the window. Select Add. The Adding Charge window opens. Open the charge table and select Freight. Next, record the amount to be quoted or billed to the customer in the Unit Price field. Select OK to return to the work order. When we return to the work order, we see the freight charge listed under Miscellaneous Charges when we are focused on the Outside Servicing task. To recap what we have learned in this session, we entered the corrective action determined by the inspector. We added a task, instruction, bill of material item, labor, and a miscellaneous charge. You may now proceed to Segment 4, Parts Management.